بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم وارحمنا بهم. We reached Salatul Musafir, the traveler's prayers, and we're going to discuss the shurut, the conditions. What makes your prayers qasr? And these are 6 conditions. Condition number 1, الشرط الأول اعتبار المسافة, considering the distance, that when we consider how much you travel, how much traveling plays, how many miles traveling plays a major role in deciding whether you are musafir or not musafir yet. Now, what is the distance? وهي مسيرة يوم بريدان. The barid, the post, used to take each day, a postman would travel 12 miles. 12 miles. So 24 miles are the traveling of two days. Okay? 24 ميلا. But not the miles that we use here, my friends. Different type of miles. These miles, these 24 miles, they make 45 kilometers. So this mile which we're discussing now is bigger than the mile that we use today currently. So 24 miles, they make 45 kilometers or 8 farsakh. 8 farsakhs. So if someone travels 8 farsakh in one day, either in one direction or 4 farsakh going and 4 farsakh coming back. Let's say there is a city here. You leave the boundaries of your city and you go to that city. It takes you 4 farsakh to go and then 4 farsakh to come back. Then you are considered a traveler. Or 8 farsakh in one direction. Okay? والميل, the mile is 4000 ذراع, 4,000 cubits. بذراع اليد, ذراع اليد, which is 1 arm. So 4,000 of these, 4,000 arms. This is the mile. الذي طوله, and the arm is 24 إصبعاً, 24 fingers. The arm's length is 24 fingers. Okay? تعويلاً على المشهور بين الناس, considering what is popular among people. أو مد البصر من الأرض. He says sometimes it's the meal traveling مد البصر من الأرض ولو كانت المسافة 4 فراسخ. Either it is 24 miles or 4 farsakh, or the eye shot, as long as the normal eyes, normal one. The normal one, the average, let's say the average one can see. That one is also. So either you consider it with miles, with actual distance, size, or you consider it with eye shot. How far the eye can see. How far do you think an average eye? We have to ask you, doctor. This is your area.
I don't know. That's a good question. In terms of distance?
I mean, eye shot like as as far as you can clearly see, or because sometimes if you look down, you can see mountains that are 2 hours away.
Let's say if there is a sign. Mountain, of course, you can see it from, sometimes 100 miles. 100 miles you can see the mountain. But let's say a sign, big sign. I can see sometimes the Hollywood sign from my house. And there is at least, I can see the whiteness of it. I can't read it, but I can see it on a clear day when we have rain. After the rain, there is no smog, no pollution. I can see it, and I would say probably there is good 50 miles distance, or 40 some, almost 50 miles distance. I can see it.
Yeah. It depends how he defines eye shot.
Yeah, this is a problematic. Eye shot is really, we cannot. So we have to depend on mileage. Yeah. Especially with the weather, with the weather, is the weather, is the earth, the land flat or not, it's all, these are all, ولو كانت المسافة 4 فراسخ وأراد العودة ليومه فقد كمل مسير يوم ووجب التقصير. Now, if he travels 4 farsakh to a spot and he wants to come back home the same day, then he has covered the 8 farsakh. He has covered the 8 farsakh. Okay? Are you with me here? ووجب التقصير. Then it is wajib for him to break his prayers. ولو تردد يوما في 3 فراسخ. Now one day he traveled zigzagged between areas for 3 farsakh. Then he went and he came back. Okay? So he left his town. He went to 3 farsakh somewhere. Then he came back to his town. Then he went another 3 farsakh. Do we consider that qasr or not, my friends?
Can you do the math again, Sayyid?
Oh, the math. You left this city. Okay? You traveled 3 farsakh to another city. Not 4. If 4, we have no problem. You go 4 and you come back 4, you cover the area, so you break your prayers. But he went to 3 farsakh. Then he came back to his city, another 3, this is 6. And then he went to the same city, let's say, another 3 farsakh. So in that case, he breaks his prayers?
Yes, because it's more than 8.
More than 8, but 2 trips, not 1 trip.
If he went back to his...
Yeah, because he left his house, he went to this village, 3 farsakh, he came back from the village to his house, these are 6, so they do not constitute qasr. However, then he left on a second trip, another 3 miles. So although in that day he traveled 9 miles, which is more than 8 miles, but on 2 trips, not 1 trip. Trip has to be 1. Okay? So he does not. لم يجز التقصير. وإن كان ذلك من نيته. Even if he decided that, well, I'm traveling these 3 miles, coming back 3 miles, going back, so I can enjoy the tax break. I can enjoy the taqsir. Even if that was his intention, but it's not considered. Okay? ولو كان لبلد طريقان. Let's say you live in this city. There is a city here. One road to it comes this way. There is a paved road and it goes. Another one straight. The straight one is 2 miles. This one, the zigzag one, is 8 miles. It's not straight. Okay? والأبعد منهما مسافة فسلك الأبعد قصر وإن كان ميلا إلى الرخصة. Now he is going to this city, although there is a straight way going to it, which is 3 miles, let's say. But he chose to go through the longer one. Why? Because he wants to break his fast. or he wants to enjoy qasr prayers, that is okay. It's okay because he traveled that distance. Although the city is closer than 8 miles, but because he traveled through a route which was 8 miles and above, then that would be okay. So he can break his fast, let's say in Ramadan, or he can do his qasr because he traveled through. So he must tell Google to take him through. Inshallah, they put this on Google's,
Yeah.
soon, that longer route, because want you to enjoy your
The fast, the break. I had a question. I've seen some like scholars. Let's say they're not sure if it's Eid or not, but they'll just drive the required amount of miles and to break their fast. I mean, it's switching subjects and not to break the fast. But so you just said earlier, Anu, if your intention is for getting the let's say the prayer, the asr, the qasr, it don't count. If your intention is to drive so you can break,
No. It counts. It counts. That is a different case. That question, he made 2 trips. He made two trips, then it's not considered. Otherwise, even if you don't want to fast today, or you want to break your fast, to break your prayers, even if this is your intention of traveling, then it's okay. Unless, we will come to that, unless that trip is safaru ma'siyah. Someone is doing a violation, then he cannot neither break his fast nor break his prayers. But let's say someone, he's tired. Today Ramadan, let's say today is Ramadan 10, 12, 15. He's tired. He wants to eat. He wants to eat today. So he cannot travel. He cannot travel.
Doubt of the Eid or whatever.
Or the Eid. Many people say it on the day of Eid when they have doubt. They travel. And after Salatul Fajr, they travel. 4 farsakh, they eat. They come back. That's it. Okay? To escape that, الشرط الثاني, the second condition of قصر. قصد المسافة, having intention to travel the complete distance. You have to have intention. But if you left unintentionally, without having the intention from the beginning, then it is not counted. Let's read the details. فلو قصد ما دون المسافة ثم تجدد له رأي فقصد أخرى مثلها لم يقصر. When he left his home, his intention was to go 3 miles to this, 3 farsakh to this city, not 4. But then when he reached this city, he said, let me go another, 1 more farsakh outside. But that was not his intention when he left home. Then even if he covers the required distance, he cannot break his prayers. Why? Because his intention from the beginning was only 3 farsakh, was not 4. Okay? Was not 4. فإن عاد وقد كملت المسافة فما زاد قصر. Now, if he returns, let's say, if he returns on the way back, somehow he covered the 8 miles, then on the way back he can pray qasr. See, from here to here, 3 farsakh. He left his house without the intention of going 4 miles, 3 miles. So how should his prayers be? Full. But then he reached the 3 miles, he went 1 mile further, accidentally, not intentionally. Then he does not, he still prays full. On the way back, so these are 4 miles. On the way back, he traveled another 4 miles. So he covered the required mileage, which is 8 farsakh. I keep saying miles, but it's not miles. Farsakh. Farsakh. Then on the way back, he can do his prayers. Qasr.
You mean when he arrives back?
No, on the way back. Let's say on the way back, the time of the prayers came.
Oh.
So here he's considered traveler. While in the beginning he was not a traveler, because he intended to go less than the required distance.
Okay, so like he leaves in the morning after Fajr. Dhuhr and Asr is full.
Full.
Then on the way back,
Maghrib.
comes, Maghrib Asha is...
Isha is qasr, exactly. Okay? وكذا لو طلب دابة شذت. If he runs after his mount, dabba usually is animal. Okay? The animal that runs away from him, the cow, let's say a cowboy, and one of the cows run away from his ranch, and he travels after it. He runs after it. Then if he covers the required distance, let's say he reached, the cow was so strong and forceful that started to travel, or the horse, let's say a horse, let's say a donkey, or whatever, and if he reaches, if he covers the distance, required distance, then his prayers is going to be qasr. أو غريما, indebted, someone, he's running after someone who took his money from him. Gharim, it's called gharim. He's running after him. Again, if he covers the distance, then he does qasr. أو آبقا, آبق usually is at that time they used to have slaves, they owned slaves, and sometimes the slave runs away from his master. They call him abiq, fugitive slave, not just any fugitive, fugitive slave. So he's running after him, searching for him. If he covers the required area, the required distance, then he does qasr. ولو خرج ينتظر رفقة. He went outside his city waiting for a group of his friends or company to go out with them, to travel out with them. If he travels, فإن كان على حد مسافة قصر في سفره وموضع توقفه. If he traveled 4 farsakhs, if he wants to come back the same day. If not, then 8 farsakhs. If he had already traveled that, then definitely he will do what? Qasr. Because he covered the required area. But if it was less than that, less than the required distance, then he would offer what? Full prayers. Are you with me or not, Sister Tahira? Sister Tahira. Yeah, it's very good. I know sometimes it's complicated. Sister Tahira, he leaves his house. His house is here. His friends, they said to him, listen, we are not going to pick you up from your village. You have to come on the main highway. Okay? So come to the main highway. The main highway is here. We will pick you up. If this distance is 8 farsakh, if it is 4 farsakh and he's returning the same day, then he would do qasr. Okay? Qasr. But if this distance is less than 4 farsakh, or if he's not returning the same day, it's less than 8 farsakh, then how does he pray? Full. Okay? Very easy.
Question.
The sentence is complicated, but it's very easy.
About the first one where he didn't have the intention of going a long distance. I mean, he went 3 farsakhs and then he decided, okay, I have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
2 more farsakhs, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's regular prayer.
Regular. Yeah.
But then he comes back.
He comes back, now he's traveling. See, Habibi, Dr. Ali.
No, that's okay.
Because he has to have the intention of traveling.
Right. So he has it.
And when you want to travel, you must cover specific distance. So in the way out, his intention was not traveling because it was less.
Right.
Now that he came to this city, and then he said, let me venture out, and he went one more farsakh out. On the way back, he's going to travel 4.
Right, at least.
So he covered. Now he's traveling.
So you can use the original.
He can use the original in his calculation. Yes.
Mileage.
Yes, yes. The total mileage, he can use it. But on the way out, his intention was just 3 farsakh, was not 4.
Correct.
So we don't consider him a traveler.
But on the way back,
Anything
you-
short of 4 farsakh, we don't consider him traveling. But on the way back, he was traveling 4 farsakh, so he can use the original mileage too. Okay. الشرط الثالث, third condition. He should not halt أن لا يقطع السفر بإقامة في أثنائه. When he's traveling, he should not halt. Let's say he's going today, he's not coming back the same day. So how much he must travel, Sister Tahira? 8 farsakh. But in this, the 8 farsakh is here. This is his city, this is his destination, there is 8 farsakh. But on the way, he stopped for a few days, less than 8 farsakh. Although his intention was to go to the 8 farsakh, but he halted his trip. He aborted his trip by staying in one place less than the required distance. Then he has to offer full prayers. Are you with me? فلو عزم على مسافة وفي طريقه ملك له قد استوطنه 6 أشهر أتم في طريقه وفي ملكه وكذا لو نوى الإقامة في بعض المسافة. How does he stay here? There are 2 scenarios. Either he has a ranch. Let's say this is his city, place of residence. This is his final destination. There is 8 farsakh or more, let's say. But on the way, he has a house, another house. He owns another house. Or he owns a ranch. And he lived in that ranch or house for 6 months, at least minimum 6 months. So it is considered his house, his watan, his home.
6 months in a row. So he lived in it.
No, not necessarily. We will come to this. Neither in a row. No, it does not need to be in a row. Total, combined, 6 months he lived in this property. Then he's not considered traveler because he stopped in the middle. Are you with me? Or he stopped in a motel for 10 days. For 10 days. He doesn't own the place. It's a motel, it's a hotel, it's a rest area. But he stopped there for 10 days. He did iqama, the niyyah of iqama, qasdul iqama. Then he broke his travels. Then he has to pray what? Full. Even on the way, he has to pray. If he stopped on the way, then he has to pray qasr, full prayers. ولو كان بينه وبين ملكه أو ما نوى الإقامة فيه مسافة التقصير قصر في طريقه خاصة. But if this property or the hotel, it has 8, there is 8 farsakh between him and his house, then in that case, how does he pray? Qasr, because he covered the distance.
Even though that's his house?
Yeah.
Even though it's what?
On the way, yes. On the way. If he wants to pray on the way. Because he's traveling.
Okay.
But when he reaches the house or the hotel, if he wants to stay 10 days, he does complete. But on the way, he's traveling in between. When you travel in between 2 homes, when you travel, and there is a distance between them, required distance, if you travel on the way, let's say in the rest area, then he breaks his prayers. What did we say yesterday? We spent some time, Dr. Ali and Haj Nadeem. We said there is a difference between the book of research and the book of fatwa, risala. This is what? This is risala?
Research.
This is not risala. This is research. This is book of research. So in the book of research, he can bring different opinions, and his answer, is it finalized or not? No. Where does he put his final answer? Risala. We mentioned this yesterday, remember? In regards to watan, now most of the ulama in their risala, they do not follow what he said about watan. They say watan, we do not consider a place 6 months and up your watan. No. You have to have the intention that this is your home. Sometimes you own a property in one country, but you do not consider that city your watan. Although you own a property, you own lands, many lands. Golf club, like the president-elect. He has golf clubs in many, many, many countries. It only depends on your intention, whether you consider this city watan, home or not. You can have more than one home. You can have 2, you can have 3, you can have 5, you can have 10, depending on your niyyah. Not on how much you lived there, no. Not on even whether you own something or not. Sometimes you go to a city, you don't own a house, you don't own, but you consider it your home. You say, this is my home. I consider it my home. So you can have more than one home. Okay? But here the criteria he gave, he said you own a property and you live in that property combined 6 months. But this is not what most of the contemporary scholars say. Sometimes they say you have a property, but you don't consider it home. Sometimes you don't have a property in that country, but you consider it home. Sometimes you have, but you don't consider it home. So it's not about having property or not. Neither about how much you lived there. It's about your intention. Do you call it home? Then you pray full. You don't call it home, even if you have a building there.
So you still have the option in this case, the contemporary view, to have more than one watan?
Yes.
With the intention of
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have more than one home. So in Ramadan, let's say you have a house, let's say in Lake Tahoe, let's say, okay? And you go there for 3 days. If you consider Lake Tahoe your home, your second home, your third home, then you can fast in Ramadan in these 3 days. But if you don't consider it your home, you don't have qasdut tawattun, it's not your home. It's a vacation place, you know, not home. You don't call it home. Then if you go less than 10 days, you can't fast. Okay?
What caused the contemporaries to decide this? I mean, is this something because of modern times or something? Was there a reason?
It goes under what we discussed in Ilm al-Usul. Some say in the past, yes, when he owns a property, then most likely he would call this village home. Nowadays, he's a businessman. he wants to invest.
Right.
So not necessarily to consider, maybe he has not even traveled to that city. He purchased a house and apartment in Paris online. And he didn't even see it because he wants to keep it for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years investment, and then he resell it. So you can't say because he has a property, he consider it home. No. In old days, nobody would invest, you know, when they purchase a land, it means they have connection to it. Nowadays, you don't have to have connection to it. You purchase in Shanghai without even seeing it, probably, because of investment. So it depends on your intention, whether you call this city home or not. Some people, let's say, they are born in Lebanon. So when they go to Lebanon, they consider it home because they were born there, or Iran, or Iraq. Okay? Some people say, no, yeah, I was born in Lebanon, in Iran, in Iraq, in Karachi, but it's not my home anymore. I was just born there. Now my home is this country. So even though they were born there, it is their birthplace. But in their intention, they have no qasdut tawattun. They don't want to take it as a home. So when they go there less than 10 days, they have to offer full prayers. When they go there less than 10 days, they have to offer qasr, broken prayers. Okay? ولو كان له عدة مواطن. Now, محقق الحلي says, if a person had more than one home, عدة مواطن, several homes, اعتبر ما بينه وبين الأول, then he would consider the travel between the first home and the second home, meaning the first leg of his trip. فإن كانت مسافة, if that first leg between these two homes covers the required distance, قصر في طريقه. On the way traveling, he breaks his prayers. Are you with me, Sister Tahira? قصر في طريقه وينقطع سفره بموطنه. Now, this is his first home. He has a house here. He has another house here in this village. And he wants to travel to several villages where he has many other homes. This is the first leg. It has 8 farsakh. So on the way, if he wants to pray on the way to this destination, he prays what? Qasr. But when he reaches home, how does he pray? Tamam, because this is house. This is his home. Okay? Yeah.
Sorry, Sid. So if he stops during the way, let's say it's the time for Dhuhr and he's gonna hit home in about an hour's time, let's say.
He has the option. If
Then
he
he has
prays
time.
before reaching home and it's time for prayers, we will come to this. Actually, we will come to this soon. Soon we will come to it. Then he doesn't want to do full. He doesn't want to do full prayers, so he can stop before, and then he can do qasr on the way. Although, let's say, he knows he still have time till sunset, but he wants to pray now. So he prays qasr. Okay? ثم يعتبر المسافة التي بين موطنيه فإن لم يكن مسافة أتى في طريقه أتم في طريقه. Now, if from this house he's going to his third house, if there is enough distance, required distance, then again he does what? Qasr. But if it is less, then on the way he prays what? Tamam.
If you are on the airplane, right, and you are leaving, when is decided that, oh, now I can?
As soon as you leave the airspace of your city. When you are at the outskirts. Wait, some people as soon as they take off, Allahu Akbar. No, because you are still in the airspace. If you look down, this is Newport Beach, this is, sometimes he makes a U-turn, the pilot, he goes to the ocean and then after that a U-turn over the city. So wait until you leave the airspace of your city. So here, we cannot say we've been in the air for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Sometimes he makes a U-turn. So you don't consider the time. You look, once you left your city, and it's desert now, then you break your prayers. Or you look at the map.
In the air.
No, that is not. It's not considered usually, unless you go to the moon. If you go to the moon, you consider the vertical. But otherwise, if you fly by airplane, you consider the horizontal.
If you go to Dubai, to the Burj,
You pray qasr? How many? 2 miles? 8 farsa? above the cloud. Yeah. Okay. So if he goes to the third one again, the third one, if there is required distance, then he does qasr. If not, he does تمام. فإن لم يكن مسافة أتم في طريقه لانقطاع سفره وإن كان مسافة قصر في طريقه الثانية حتى يصل إلى وطنه. Now, والوطن الذي يتم فيه. What do we call وطن? that we are required to offer full prayers. What is it? هو كل موضع له فيه ملك. See, here the standard is what? Every spot, every village where you have a property, according to him. But now they say no, things have changed. Yes, in the past, when you have a property in this village, you have connection. Either you have a second wife, third wife, or you want to come back there. But now you can have properties all over the world, but you don't mean to go and live there and take that as your home. له فيه ملك قد استوطنه, in that property you lived in it 6 أشهر فصاعدا and above. متوالية, this is the answer of Dr. Ali. Either consecutive, one shot, 6 months, or متفرقة, separated. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it makes 6 months. Either consecutive or separated. الشرط الرابع, the fourth condition, أن يكون السفر سائغا, legitimate trip. What do we mean by legitimate? He says there are 3 steps. Either واجبا كان كحجة الإسلام. It's mandatory that you travel. If you are مستطيع, then it is wajib, mandatory on you to travel. Like going to Hajj for the first time, Hajjatul Islam, not the second time. This is why we call it Hajjatul Islam when you go, or it has another name, Hajjul Sarura, either Sarura or Hajjatul Islam. I remember when we go, some people say Hujjatul Islam. We told them, no, not Hujjah, Hajjah. Because Hujjatul Islam, this is in Qom, only in Qom. Yeah. Hajjatul Islam, it means Hajj, pilgrimage. أو مندوبا, or if his trip is highly recommended, مستحب, كزيارة النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أو مباحا, it is permissible, okay, كالأسفار للمتاجر, when you travel for business, okay. ولو كان معصية لم يقصر, but if the intention of his trip is to commit a sin, such as what? He gives several examples. كاتباع الجائر, he is going by the order of a tyrant, a corrupt, let's say a gang leader. He's sending him on a mission for drugs, for kidnapping, for stealing, for ransacking this village. He should not follow. Okay? كاتباع الجائر. وصيد له. صيد له is what? When you hunt, go hunting for fun. Because it's haram. Hunting for fun is haram. Either you have to eat yourself what you hunt, including fishing, or you sell because you are a breadwinner. This is your job. You are a fisherman. You are a hunter because you want to feed your family, your children. Otherwise, going for fun, killing animals for fun, haram. This is the right of animals in Islam. They should not be killed if you are not eating them yourself or selling them as a breadwinner to bring food to your family. So saydul lahu, which used to happen, even now some people go, this is haram. So in that trip you have to offer full prayers. Someone was saying, they don't even pray. Someone who's going to. But let's say someone wants to, pray. Then the prayers has to be full. ولو كان الصيد لقوته وقوت عياله قصر. But if he's hunting for provision for himself and his عيال, his family, then he breaks his prayers. ولو كان للتجارة, if he's going for business, للتجارة. قيل, see, he gives different ideas. This is the advantage of the research book. Otherwise in his risala, he doesn't say قيل. This is my opinion. I don't care about others. This is my opinion. Here he gives different opinions. قيل, according to some, يقصر الصوم دون الصلاة. If he's traveling for business, merchandise, he breaks his fasting, but he does not break his prayers. So he offers 4 rak'ah, but if it is Ramadan, then he breaks his.
So say it's somebody gonna go watch a movie, let's say, and they drive.
Movie is okay. Movie is not haram. What sort of movie?
Oh,
Depends
okay.
on the movie.
Drama, Oscar winner.
Drama is okay.
Oscar winner.
You do Asr then, because is that
No. Movie not qasr, habibi.
not Qasr.
No.
You can't do it. Yeah.
No. If you travel to watch a movie, this is not haram.
Right. Oh, so okay, so it's within the legal.
Not haram, yeah.
Okay.
Something haram. If
Yeah.
something is haram, then in that
I
case.
see. It has a legitimate purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't have to
legitimate.
watch a movie when you-
No. Movie, sometimes you are bored, it's healthy for you, and it's inspiring story. It has, some of them have good stories. It depends on what movie. This is why I said.
Right.
Sometimes pornography, no, this is haram. But innocent movie has a story, an inspiring story, it's okay. It's not
So
haram.
say then, sometimes from my clients, I have to drive down to San Diego. So if I'm going there, then I don't do qasr.
You do qasr.
Oh, you do? I thought you just said you don't.
Because he's for his work, no?
Yeah.
No, that's a different. This is, are you asking about this or
Yeah.
in general?
No.
No. He's considering tijara once in a while. If you are a regular traveler to Orange County, let's say you travel twice a week, they say, then you do tamam.
Okay. But if it's once in a while.
Once in a while, you break.
Okay.
Even if you are visiting clients,
Okay.
even if you are doing business. Okay? وَفِيهِ تَرَدُّدٌ. He says, the author says, no, we cannot differentiate between fasting and prayers. So you know what is his opinion, the author? You will be surprised that if he travels, he prays both. He prays as ihtiyat, precaution, qasr and tamam.
Who, this author?
The author says about someone who travels for tijara, merchandise.
Yeah, that's why I got nervous.
Yeah, merchandise, not profession. Profession is something else.
Oh.
We distinguish between them. Yours
To sell